Dear students, I welcome you in this lecture on the chapter Shares and Dividends. In the previous lecture, we have solved some examples based on the formulae which we have seen. In this lecture, we are going to solve some more examples. Let us solve some more examples. Consider the example in which a share of rupees 100 is purchased for rupees 110. If the rate of dividend is 12%, find dividend received and rate of return on investment. So we have to find two things, dividend received, and secondly we have to find rate of return on investment. So the outline which we are going to have is this for solving this example. First, we will find dividend per one share. Then we will find return per one share and finally we will find rate of return. So you must take into account this outline for finding dividend per one share and rate of return. So how to find dividend? Basic formula for finding dividend is dividend is equal to rate of dividend upon into face value of one share upon 100. So rate of dividend into face value of one share upon 100. So dividend is equal to rate of dividend. Rate of dividend is given as 12%. So it is 12. Face value of one share is given as rupees 100 and we have to divide it by 100, so that comes as 12. So thus dividend received per one share, dividend received per one share is rupees 12. This completes our first step. Next, there is no resale of shares, so return is equal to dividend. Hence, return per one share is equal to dividend, again that is equal to 12. So this completes our second step as well. Then let us find rate of return. So rate of return is return per one share upon market value of one share into 100, that equals to 12 upon 110 into 100, and this evaluates to 10.91. So rate of return is 10.91 percentage. This completes the final step as well. Recall the outline. We have seen dividend per one share. Then first we found dividend per one share. Then we found return per one share. And finally we found rate of return. So dividend, return and rate of return. Dividend, return and rate of return. I request you to remember this outline for finding rate of return. You have to do these three steps: dividend, return and rate of return. Again note that dividend is always calculated on face value, whereas rate of return is always calculated on market value. Okay, let us see the next example. In next example, a share of rupees 100 is purchased for rupees 110. After receiving 12% dividend, it was sold for rupees 120. Again we have to find the rate of return on investment. So basic outline is going to be the same. First we have to find dividend, then we have to find return, and after that we have to find rate of return. So what is difference between the previous example which we have solved and this one which we are solving? So in previous example there was no resale, but here there is resale of shares with profit. There is resale of shares. It is with profit because share of rupees 110 is sold for rupees 120. So there is profit of rupees 10 per share. Okay. Now let us solve this example in step by step manner. First we are going to solve dividend. Dividend is equal to rate of dividend into face value of 1 share upon 100. So that equals to rate of dividend is 12, face value of 1 share is 100 divided by 100, so that equals to 12. Return is equal to dividend plus profit on resale of share. So return is equal to dividend, which is 12, and profit, as we have seen, it is 10 because 110, it was purchased for 110 and sold for 120, means there is a profit of rupees 10. So there is a profit of rupees 10. So 12 plus 10, that is equal to 22. Finally we will find rate of return. It is equal to return per 1 share upon market value of 1 share into 100. So rate of return is going to equal to return per 1 share is 22. Market value of 1 share is given as 110. Market value of 1 share is 10. 110. So 22 upon 122 upon 110 into 100, and you can find after evaluation this equals to 20. So thus the final answer is rate of return is equal to 20. Let us solve next example of similar type. But here there is resale of shares with loss. So what is the example? A share of rupees 100 is purchased for rupees 110. After receiving 12% dividend, it was sold for rupees 105. We have to find rate of return on investment. So first of all, note that there is a loss because share of rupees 110 is sold for rupees 105. So there is loss of 5. So minus 5 I can say. There is a loss of rupees 5. Okay, this difference 105 minus 110 is minus 5. So there is a loss of rupees 5. Loss of rupees 5. So there is resale of shares. There is resale of shares. Resale of share with loss. Resale of share with loss. Again, the outline is going to be the same. How we find rate of return? Remember this outline. First we find dividend. Then we find return. And after that we find rate of return. After that we find rate of return. So to find dividend, we have the formula. Dividend per one share is equal to rate of dividend into face value of one share upon 100. So dividend is going to be equal to rate of dividend is given as 12%. Face value of one share is 100 upon 100. So dividend equals to 12. In this case, return is going to be equal to dividend per one share minus loss, because there is loss. So we have to subtract the loss. So return is equal to rupees 12 minus loss. It is equal to rupees 110 minus 105, as we had seen earlier that there is loss of rupees 5. So it is minus 5, that so minus 5, which equals to rupees 7. So return per one share is rupees 7 and dividend per one share is rupees 12. Now rate of return is given by return per one share, which is rupees 7 upon market value of one share. Recall that market value is given as 110. So 7 upon 110 into 100, and after calculations you can see that this is equal to 6.36. I request you to pause the video and verify all these calculations. The only way to learn mathematics is to solve examples on your own. I have explained all the fine details, but you should practice this and try to solve these examples on your own. Thank you.